Welcome everyone to our show today, BrosKnow's entertainment talk from Middle Earth. Big up to the All Blacks and to our Olympic athletes who came back with a swag of medals. And well, the All Blacks, they really just dealt to the Wallabies, didn't they?
It's a wasting.
Anyway, with that, we will get on to our show today. What do we got? We've got our normal stuff. We've got movie news. Gavin will take us through that. We've got a review of the new movie, Ben-Hur. Today we've got our top 5 video games. And we've got Clash of the Geeks. A little bit of a new format today, Gavin. We might talk about that a little bit later on, but I'm really psyched for our show. Let's get into it. What do we got for our movie news today?
Sweet. Okay, first up, we have Ben-Hur is currently developing the Agatha Christie short story, Witness for the Prosecution, in which he is reported to be directing and starring. The story was previously brought to the big screen in 1957 by Billy Wilder and was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Also, Doug Liman, director of Edge of Tomorrow, is reported to have left the troubled Gambit movie and is to develop and direct Justice League Dark for DC Films. The supernatural version of the Justice League consists of characters such as Constantine, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, and others. The movie was previously being developed by Guillermo del Toro, but because of delays, he was unable to continue due to other commitments. Now, last Sunday, saw the first episode of the ambitious TVNZ production of Hillary, which is based on the life of Kiwi legend Sir Edmund Hillary. Written by cartoonist Tom Scott and directed by Danny Mulheron of Fresh Meat fame, the 6-part miniseries boasts a $6.5 million budget provided by the New Zealand On-Air Platinum Fund. Early reviews are positive and the vast majority of viewers are enthusiastic for the episode still to be aired. Hillary is on TV1 Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't get to watch that. I missed that, but I'm pretty sure I can watch that on
demand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a good show. And our last movie item, Paramount has halted production on the Mission Impossible 6 movie, reportedly because of salary issues for the film star Tom Cruise. Several media sites have reported that the issue is either because of Paramount want to reduce the costs of their big budget movies, or Tom Cruise has asked for a comparative salary to what he is getting in the upcoming Universal movie, The Mummy. Whatever the reason, this is an interesting move from Paramount, as the Mission Impossible franchise is their largest money earner besides the Transformers franchise. And they have taken major losses in recent times with movies such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the recent release remake of the epic Ben-Hur.
Ooh, which you're reviewing later on.
Yes.
Right.
What do you want to talk about?
I always like to talk about comic book movies. So Justice League Dark. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah. Have you had a look at the comic ever?
I have not. Never seen any of these comics. I'm familiar with some of the characters, though. Certainly Constantine was a series, underrated series, to be honest. I enjoyed it. It got cancelled.
It wasn't bad, too, with
Keanu Reeves. I enjoyed Keanu Reeves' version of Constantine.
Yeah.
The fans weren't so hot on him. I did enjoy the TV series. It got cancelled. They did about half a series. It got cancelled after that. Constantine actually popped up in the Arrow universe a little bit later.
Yeah.
So I really did enjoy Constantine.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, I've always found him to be kind of 70s. But
I like this comic. He's strong.
Yeah, he is. He's
pretty much invulnerable to
yeah, exactly. He sort of, but Zatanna, I've had her in I've had her in Smallville. She's the resident magic person.
Yeah, it'd probably be, I imagine it would be her dad is Zatanna, not
the female.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting. DC coming out with Justice League Dark on the back of Marvel doing Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I mean, this has been in development for ages.
Yeah.
And I know Guillermo del Toro, he's been wanting to... I think a big problem with him is... I think he always wants too much money for these projects.
Yeah.
He says, this is going to cost $200 million. And they're like, hey...
Gosh, because he was set up, of course, to do the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
Then there was some fracas with that. And
It was about where it was going to be filmed and those kind of things.
I mean, is he going to be titled the director who can't hang around?
I believe he still has some input into the script, which would be great, because this suits Guillermo.
I mean, if you've seen Pan...
Yeah, absolutely,
the Hellboy.
But I mean, I like Lyman, so I think it's going to be interesting. So I think he's still going to have a hand in the script, and he still attaches as executive producer or something.
Right.
Like that.
Okay, that's interesting stuff. What did you want to talk about?
Mission Impossible's an interesting story there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting move from Universal, isn't it? No,
Paramount, yeah.
Because they've had some stinkers this year. They've lost a bit of cash.
Yeah. Look, the Mission Impossible movies have gotten better.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Yeah, I enjoyed Rogue Nation. But, I mean, I really, really enjoyed
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol.
It
was a fantastic movie. And Tom Cruise is fantastic in that role.
Yes, yeah.
He's a big reason why Mission Impossible is doing so well.
Yeah.
So surprising that... Because he doesn't seem to be the type of person who quibbles too much over money. So he's thinking that they aren't paying... He's not getting his dues.
Well, I mean, the last two made just under $700 million each.
Yeah.
So perhaps, I don't know what he's getting a shit ton of money, I'm sure, but maybe comparatively, it's not enough. He's thinking. But I mean, it's stupid. It's not like they're not going to go through with this project. It just makes too much money.
Yeah.
And you can't. Well, you could, but then you lose. What, 200 million take Tom Cruise out of it?
Yeah. It's not going to be the same. I mean, it's the same thing they did with the Bourne franchise.
Yeah.
They took out Jeremy Renner. The Bourne franchise suffered from that. So, Paramount, look, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt. He is Mr. Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I think he's probably worth his money.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are... It seems like largely speculation, these two ideas anyway, so... It's a bit of a wait and see what the real story is. If we do get the real story, probably not for quite a while, or maybe even after the movie's out, before we really know what's happening.
Okay. Right. On to our weekly box office.
Okay. Some interesting box office this week, or last week. So Suicide Squad came out on top again with 20,855,000. Sausage Party came in second with 485 million.
Yeah.
War Dogs was third with 14,685,000. Kubo, which is a bit sad, with 12,608,000. Pete's Dragon came in fifth with 11,349,000.
Right.
In the New Zealand box office, Suicide Squad, again is on top with 459,441. Fab at number 2, 288,171. War Dogs at 3, 189,127. The Shallows is at 4 with 181,089. It's a reasonable showing for that movie. Jason Bourne is in at 5th with 176,279.
Just hanging in there, Jason Bourne.
Just hanging in there, yeah. Just beat out Poirier, I believe.
Oh, Poirier just dropped out of the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good little documentary, that.
Yeah, I think the glaring omission here is that Ben-Hur on its opening weekend didn't make the top 5.
So it was released in the US last week?
Last week.
Wow,
It came in at 11, at 6. with about 150 less than Pete's Dragon.
Wow. How much did that movie cost Paramount?
Just over 100. That's the production budget.
Yeah.
So plus marketing, you got to say 180.
Wow, that's not looking like it's gonna struggle to make its money domestically. It might make its money around the world. The original Ben-Hur? It had a bit of faith based in it. It mixed in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Ben-Hur is a biblical story.
Yeah, so
not in the Bible, but it's.
Does this version also?
Yep, certainly does have
Some biblical.
Christ in there.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the world pick that movie up.
Yeah.
Certainly was an old favorite. Perhaps translating it to the new to this era not going so well.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about that more when it comes up. Okay, so movies out this week. This is in New Zealand, of course. Is Ben-Hur that started yesterday.
Right.
And won't talk about that because we're going to review it. And Bad Mums has come out now. Bad Mums is we talked about this last week. It's doing really well. A budget around 20 million. It's sitting in America. Well, it must be around 80 million now, or close to, domestically. So it's just opening today. Basically, it's your run-of-the-mill sort of comedy. Mum's behaving badly is kind of like the premise of it.
So it's got Mila Kunis. She looks like the big star in this.
Yeah.
Right. I think we should move on to our Ben-Hur review, Gavin.
Sure.
Because you went and watched it yesterday. Okay. Gavin.
Yeah, so it was a movie I was looking forward to. I'm certainly a fan of the 1959 version. There's been actually about 5 versions of the movie, brought to film. And the most famous one is the William Wyler one starring
Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston, yeah, absolutely. And that's a much loved classic movie, you know. So the problem with doing remakes of movies like that, like Ghostbusters had the same problem. You know, it's a movie everyone loves. So I talked about when we were doing our other review, you know, you don't go in with any preconceptions. You don't have any choice if it's a remake. Yeah. You know, you're always going to compare it. And that's probably the big problem. So when I went into this, I mean, I was looking forward to seeing it. I like the actors. Jack Huston used to be on Broadwalk Empire.
Yeah.
He's did you ever watch that program? He's the guy with
Broadwalk Empire. I never got to watch it.
Oh,
it's a fantastic movie. TV program, sorry.
Yeah. And he plays this hitman, and he's a very good actor, and he's being pegged for lots of roles. Actually. Right. And the other one is Toby Kebbell. Who's a guy I've been watching for a long time. Yeah. He's Koba in Dawn of the Dead. He plays Koba the ape. But he's in lots of smaller roles. So good actors and very well acted in this movie, actually. So I was looking forward to it. And then I didn't watch any reviews, but I saw the box office for this movie. I was like, oh my God. So I wasn't expecting a terrible lot going into it. But it's okay. It's better than I thought it would be. Anyway, yeah.
I think when I watched the promo for this, pretty much gives the story of Ben-Hur is similar to the original story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we won't go into too much about the plot and stuff because it's already been told.
Yeah.
But this sounds like a movie that you're going to see once. Would you go see it again?
Not at the movies. I wouldn't. I would see the movie again.
Yeah.
It does a few things well. So if you compare it to the 1959 version, I think it tells the Jesus Christ story better. It intermingles that story in with Judah Ben-Hur better. I think. I mean, the story it starts off like a kind of a revenge tale. But in the end, it's actually a redemption story. Yeah. And I think the story's pretty good. What it lacks is it doesn't have that epic feel to it that the original Ben-Hur is. And remember, Ben-Hur's made 60 years ago.
Right, yeah.
So You know, they got far better effects, probably a bigger budget. No, maybe they didn't have a bigger budget than Ben-Hur, but big enough anyway. And they weren't able to capture that same tone. Maybe it's CinemaScope. Maybe that's the key. You're going to have CinemaScope.
But look, the original Ben-Hur had Charlton Heston. Now,
Yeah.
he was the biblical actor of the ages.
Yeah,
I
look,
mean,
these
the Ten
actors are
Commandments,
very good.
Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
But does this guy compare to the great Charlton Heston?
Jack Houston is a very good actor, and the acting alone in this movie is something that propels it higher.
Oh,
for me.
okay.
Yeah,
Because it's got Morgan Freeman, of course, and he's a fantastic actor.
he is a fantastic actor. But if anything, I think he's probably the weaker link in terms of.
So
the
you're
acting.
saying he's kind of phoning it in a little
Yeah,
bit?
he's getting a paycheck in this one too. There's a couple of things wrong. I don't think you quite buy into the emotional content with the movie that makes certainly the big chariot race at the end of it.
Yeah.
Gives it that emotional attachment to that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to like about it. As I said, the acting in it's very good. The action scenes are great.
Right.
If you remember from the original, he's on the galleys and he's rowing. He's a slave, right?
Yes.
That battle is awesome.
Right.
And done very well. And they even there's a bit in the original where he becomes sort of the slave to this Roman master, and then he becomes his son, and that kind of thing, which always for me felt weird because he's supposed to hate Romans. Why is he all of a sudden doing this thing? But anyway, so they just cut that out, and which I thought was a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, better than I thought it would be. Worth a watch. But yeah.
One watch only.
One watch only, yeah. And if it was another movie, you know, it's John Smith, the Christ story.
Yeah.
I think people would like it more.
So once again, when it comes to remakes, they tend to lose a little bit if they don't, if they aren't as good as the remake, or if they can't compare to the original. I mean.
Yeah, and it's always difficult because even if it is a better movie, it's the love of that movie that we have to deal with.
Okay, as is our way, we'll just go through. Actually, we'll pretty much talk about the positives and the negatives.
Yeah. I mean, probably the one negative I missed out was the end. I quite liked the movie, but the very ending of the movie, it has a sort of a Hollywoody happy ending, which isn't bad because that's kind of what the story calls for.
Yes.
But then there's a narration over the top of that, and it says, and now they go off and do, and I was like, oh, really?
Okay.
Really? And I was like, why put that in there? Just cut it where the family get together, bang, done, end.
So they kind of had to paint the end for the silly people that didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Okay, Gavin, your rating out of 10. What would you give this?
It certainly could have been better. It wasn't as epic as the original, but it's not bad. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10? Yeah. It's definitely better than 5 the average.
Yeah, 5 the average. It's worth
there's a bit of feeling out there for faith-based movies, though this probably isn't really.
No, it's a biblical story, but you wouldn't define it as a faith-based movie. Right. Certainly not a Christian movie. Yeah.
Certainly, if you want to see a movie that's probably worth at least one watch, Ben-Hur.
Yeah,
it's up to you. Okay, Gavin, time to move on to our top 5 video games.
Absolutely.
Right, I believe that you started first in our last countdown because I've been doing a lot of editing. Funny story about our editing, I've noticed a lot of things that I've been doing wrong or irritating. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, let's go into my number 5, and it is Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. For those who don't know, Jedi Knight 2 is actually the 3rd part in the Dark Forces series. Dark Forces was a shoot 'em up. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 was an adventure game better 3D engine, and it had more sort of puzzles to solve and stuff. And Jedi Outcast is the third part in that. Now, if I were to ask the audience out there who stole the Death Star plans, you might say that it's the people from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Well, before that, it was this character, Kyle Katarn. Kyle Katarn steals the Death Star plans in the first Dark Forces game.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No, it ain't canon. So that's unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen Kyle Katarn in this movie, actually, but that's by the by. So yeah, Jedi Outcast. That's got Billy D. Williams reprising his role as Lando Calrissian. So it's great to hear a real Star Wars voice inside a Star Wars game. And since I'm a Star Wars fan, I really enjoy the fact that you could weld a lightsaber, use the Force, interact with different Star Wars characters. It really was an enjoyable game. One of LucasArts' best, in my opinion, other than their Knights of the Old Republic games and those ones. But this one, fantastic game. Really, really enjoyable. When I'm not playing adventure games, I like to beat stuff up, and that's what Diablo 3 is. My number 4 game. Diablo 3 is basically meant to be an RPG, but it's not really an RPG. It's just about killing stuff, exploding stuff, magicking stuff to death. I really enjoy this game if I want to release a bit of tension. Yeah. Fantastic game. It is a game that you can just increase your power. You're doing hits like 24 billion crits. 24 billion crits. Those are outrageous figures. So you're dealing a heck of a lot of damage in this game. It's just really, really enjoyable. But then if I'm looking for something with a bit more depth, I'll look at my number 3 game, which is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Good game.
Yes, it is a fantastic game. You start off in the game, you're a prisoner, and then next thing you find yourself escaping from a death sentence, and there's a dragon breathing fire on you. It is outrageous, and it's an excellent way to be immersed straight into the story. You make a lot of choices in this game. Are you going to join this faction? Are you going to join those people? Are you going to go on this adventure? The actual size of the game, because it's an open world game, is just huge. You see the top of that mountain? Climb to the top of that mountain. You see that little cave over there? Go into that cave. What's in that cave?
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic way to play a game. You are in another world. You can do whatever you want. You can become whatever you want. Those are the types of games that I enjoy because it takes me away from reality, which isn't too bad. But, if you want to escape, why not in a game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Your number 5.
So, my first game is probably one nobody's heard of, a game called Betrayal at Chrono. Now, this is real old school. You played this game on DOS. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It is...
You might have to ask your parents or your grandparents.
Ask your grandparents what that is. Yeah, so this is the game. I mean, I don't play a lot of games these days anyway, but mainly I only play RPGs, true RPGs. And this is the game that made me fall in love with RPGs. It's the gameplay itself is very blocky and old and antiquated. But the story, it's the story that keeps you going with this. Story by Raymond E. Feist.
Yeah.
So he's a writer of fantasy novels, and he penned the story for this one. Great characters. You really enjoy your time with him. Another thing I really liked about this game, actually, is the inventory, the interactive inventory. It was really easy to use. Some games are really annoying, especially like the advanced D&D games. Oh my God, I hated those. It was so finicky trying to put your sword inside your backpack, all that kind of crap.
Well, that's amazing because this game is from the 1990s. This is like 1993.
It was really easy. It was just click and drop, drag and drop. It was so easy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Fantastic. Memorable characters. I, like Gavin, I think, have named many of my characters in other games.
I think in my latest rendition of Skyrim, he's named Goroth. So,
Goroth. I'll never forget thee.
And my second one is Doom 2. Now, Doom 2, well, it's the second part, but this series really changed games, especially computer games. This created the first really the shoot 'em up. You know, this made those popular. And amazing game, scary as hell. Great creatures in there. I think you might have this one on there too. So we'll leave it there.
Maybe.
So great thing about this game, especially when I used to play this when I'm playing RPG games, and if you get to a puzzle, you can't open the door with the bloody key, it's not working, you get a bit frustrated, play that, kill something, go back, and it's all good. So it's good.
Kill something in the goriest way too with a chainsaw.
Get your chainsaw out, chop some things up.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Okay, my number 3. This is probably the newest game on my list, perhaps. So this is a game that has a great deal of RPG elements in it, but also mixed with good action adventure games. So there's some good fighting in it. There's some good sort of puzzle solving and good bits where you're just building things and making stuff. Good story to it as well, especially with Ezio, that one. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, it is.
So I think I played about 3 of them. The story's getting a bit wonky these days, but great game. Look forward to further ones, and the movie, certainly want to watch it.
Based in history.
Yeah.
But it's got some sci-fi elements to it as well.
Absolutely. And it always sort of reminded me of one of my favourite movies, Highlander, you know, because it's sort of back and forward in time.
Right. Okay. My number 2 is Doom, the original. Now, Gavin was talking about Doom 2, where Doom 2 is James Cameron's Aliens. Doom is Ridley Scott's Alien. This game is scary as hell. And it's set in hell, so it's even worse. But just imagine you're in a room with your computer, lights are off, you've got your stereo going, and you can hear these growls to the left and a little growl to the right. You see a key in a darkened room, you know that when you grab that key, all hell will break loose, and that's what happens. It is fantastic. Once again, Doom is a little cut back. It's a matter of survival. There's not as much resources as there is in Doom 2. Doom 2, you have more bullets, you have better guns. This one, it's all about you know, making sure that you don't use too much bullets. So it is about survival, which is what made this game so fantastic. So scary. Network play was able in a little bit of a later version of Doom, but playing it with other people is just so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't have multiplayer games on computer in those days, but this was one of the first to actually do that. And the graphics, well, not true 3D, just superb, fantastic.
For the time, yeah. It was.
For the time. 1995 it came out. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So my number 2 is Civilization. Sid Meier's Civilization. Yeah, great game. Building your entire civilization from Stone Age, pretty much, into a thriving metropolis.
Which one are you, 1 or 2 or?
I think I've played up to number 3. They're up to like number 5 now, and I've always been meaning to get it, but I mean it's been out for years now, but I haven't got it. And I know that 6 comes out in like October this year, so I might just wait for that and play that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Long game, intensive game, but a lot of fun, and it's great. It's great when you have like mechanized warriors, in these big mech RPGs or whatever, and they got their little catapults that come in.
That is, you know what? That is funny. Is you've got tanks, and you're taking on catapults. Now, how the hell is a catapult going to take out my tank? But it does.
Sometimes it does. Is it?
Yeah.
How can you beat me?
But anyway, it's a turn-based game. Strategy, fantastic game. It's got learning trees. It's got all about, it teaches you a little bit about history, culture. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how I missed that game. Anywho, on to my number one. Well, unfortunately for Gavin, it is Pokemon Go. I can't stop playing this game. In fact, while we're doing this, I'm actually playing the game now under the table. No, I'm not. I mean, never Pokemon and drive, never Pokemon and do videos. Okay? So it's got a couple of fantastic elements in it. It's got the GPS system where you're walking around, you can see your street, you see Pokemon in it, you click on them, you capture them. It's got augmented reality, for those who don't know what that is. That's where you see a Pokemon on your phone and you're also looking at the place where you are. So if you're in McDonald's, you'll see a Pokemon and the Pokemon will be sitting on the table with you, maybe eating your Big Mac. So it's just a truly fantastic game. I love the cartoons. I love the original games, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, and then went on to all those other games. I was really addicted to this game. When I saw this game, I actually resisted playing it for about 3 weeks. Then maybe about 2 weeks ago, I started playing. Within a week, I was up to level 21. I don't know if that's good, but it's hella enjoyable. Because I got up there that high because I'm a dirty old cash spender. Yes, dirty old cash spender. Because it makes me want to spend money on that game. I'm always running out of Pokeballs. Damn it. Anyway, that's my number one, Pokemon Go. Don't put it down, Gavin. Don't hate the game, Gavin.
Whatever.
Okay. What's your number one?
See, my number one's a real game. Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age is the first of a series of 3. It is an RPG, a true RPG again. Awesome game. Again, like Betrayal Condor, great story, really gets you involved.
This has got way better graphics.
Universe. Way better graphics, way better gameplay.
Fantastic voice talent in that game too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It took RPGs to a new level in terms of the lore of a world. Where Skyrim just made the world vast. For me, those stories lack in sort of guiding you to a particular goal. What's your main story? So, like, you can finish the main story in like a game like Skyrim in, say, a day, and then you just go around and do other stuff. And for me, it kind of loses its luster once you've done the main thing. This is always at the end. This is always the goal and what it's always builds to. And I think that's a key to any good RPG.
Wow.
Love this game. Finished the third one quite a while ago now, and I'm trying to play all 3 of them back to back so I can link them all up and make the story.
It's really interesting because Gavin is such a fan of the Elder Scrolls games. I thought that one of those games would have been on here.
Yeah, I mean it was close. For my fifth, I was tossing up between Oblivion, which is Elder Scrolls 4, and Betrayal at Cromwell. But Betrayal won it because it's the game that made me fall in love with RPGs in the first place.
I'll tell you, I mean, we were down to only 5 games, and I see Gavin chose pretty much a different game, a different genre each number. I miss so many great games. I miss StarCraft. The StarCraft series has just been completed.
Yeah. Actually, I thought they might be on
games.
yours.
Blizzard,
to be honest,
games. To be honest, fantastic. They know how to make games.
Yeah.
Blizzard. But I really wanted to put that one in, but I thought probably my most played Blizzard game would have to be Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Truly enjoyable games. So
Yep.
Point of difference for both of us. Let's move on to...
Just wanted to bring up, before we move on, I know that in Facebook there was comments, would we do any reviews on games?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're certainly talking about it, and that's really why we looked at our top 5 full games today. But yeah, that's a work in progress, I think. We'll get back to
Yeah, we will probably get a guest reviewer in there to do those games because, as Gavin and I said, we don't really play games as much as we used to. We're sort of on...
Yeah, I'm very specific in the games I play, so...
I mean, I play Pokemon Go, but there's more to life than Pokemon Go. There's not more to life than Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is everything. Anyway, Gavin, it's time for Clash of the Geeks.
Revenge!
As you know, last week, the finale, the great Eric won the best of our first series of games. The format's changed a little bit this week. Do you want to take us through what the new format is, Gavin?
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're still going to have 5 questions, but we're going to have a multiple choice option in that question. So we're going to ask the question, and if you get it right straight away, you get 2 points for that. If you don't know the answer, then you can ask for multiple choice, and then then it goes down to 1 point that you can win out of it, if you get it right, obviously. So you can get a maximum of 10 points, or maybe 5 points if you get full multiple choice.
Yeah, so maximum now is 10 points per week per person.
Yeah.
So once again, we're going to run for 4 weeks.
Yep, 4 weeks.
4 weeks, so could be the most that anyone can get will be 40 points.
Yeah. I thought it might be a bit better than if someone pulls away quite significantly, then there's a good chance to catch up with those 10 points, if you get a maximum of 10 points.
Yeah. So also, our time to think about the answer has been greatly reduced. We've got 10 seconds now.
Yeah.
After 5 seconds, the person asking the questions will be giving a 5-second countdown. So if they don't ask for multiple choice within that time, then it's too late. The answer will be given. They get nothing. But if they ask for multiple choice within that 5-second countdown, then they get a multiple choice. They get another 20 seconds. They get another 10 seconds to answer once the multiple choice options have been given.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, just one more thing. Hey, if you guys are watching this and you enjoy this kind of stuff, play with us and see how you do. Send us your scores and see if you do better than us. Just put them down in the comment section.
Don't get all the answers right because you've watched the video and you've seen the answers. Ooh, okay. Anyway.
So who's first?
Well, I do believe that you went first last week.
No. You're the champ, so you can choose if you want to go first or second.
I'll go second.
You're going to go second?
Yes.
So
I will ask you questions first. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Gavin has already asked for the 3 questions. He wants the numbers. He doesn't know what the questions are. So the question, first question for you, Gavin, is in which 1987 movie did Dennis Quaid and Alan Barkin play a detective and assistant district attorney, respectively?
Big Easy.
Correct. Which 2004 movie based on short stories by Isaac Asimov starred Will Smith?
Sorry, can you say the question again?
Okay, which 2004 movie based on short stories by Isaac Asimov starred Will Smith?
Ooh.
3, 2.
Multiple choice.
Ooh, just in time. The options are I Am Legend, I, Robot, Men in Black, Hitch.
Legion or iRobot? I actually think it's iRobot. I'm going to go with that one.
iRobot, correct. Which female star of the 1986 movie Top Gun played a district attorney in The Accused?
Oh, crap. What's her name? Multiple choice. I can't remember her name.
Is it Kelly Brock, Kelly Preston, Kelly McGillis, or Kelly's Heroes?
Kelly McGillis.
Correct. That's 4 out of 6 so far for that. Let's move to our single question cards. In the movie Flashdance, what was Alex Owen's day job?
She worked in a steel mill. She was like a...
Correct. She was a steel worker.
Okay.
2 points. In The Hangover, what name did Alan use to refer to his circle of friends?
Oh. Multiple choice.
Ooh, very good. Okay, was it the Rat Pack, the Brat Pack, the Wolf Pack, or the Six Pack?
I think it was the Wolf Pack.
Correct. That was a pretty good round from Gavin there.
Right.
He got 7 out of 10. Let's see how I can do.
Okay. Yeah, I think I started with this one. Okay. Who starred as Tony Marino in the 1977 movie Saturday Night Fever?
John Travolta.
Correct. Who went nude as Lady Macbeth in Roman Polanski's 1972 movie Macbeth?
Ooh, multiple choice.
Was it Helen Mirren, Francesca Ennis, Diane Fletcher, Teresa Ann Savoy? Helen Mirren, Francesca Ennis, Diana Fletcher.
Diana Fletcher?
It was Francesca Ennis. There's a tough one. Okay, number
5.
5, yeah. On which Shakespeare play was the 1999 movie 10 Things I Hate About You based?
Taming of the Shrew.
Very good. Correct. In the Twilight Saga, what is the third installment of the vampire-themed movies? In the Twilight Saga, what is the third installment of the vampire-themed movies?
Breaking Dawn.
Eclipse.
Ah, that's why I hate those movies.
Everyone hates those movies, come on. In Ghostbusters, what did the registration plate read on the team's quick response?
Ecto 1.
Ecto 1, correct.
6. Should have taken the multi-choice.
Should have taken the multiple choice.
Damn it. I thought I knew it. Gavin comes out with a slight lead, 7-6. Certainly, our trivia round is moving a lot faster, which is great for you guys. You're not sitting there looking at us, look at the sky and pick our noses and stuff. Right, Gavin, this is your round of... Oh, all right. Crap, I brought on TradeMe. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so Jason Briggs?
No, it was Michael Briggs.
Michael Briggs, sorry, yeah.
Michael Briggs was our, we said was our winner of a prize last week.
Yep.
He chose number 7 as his prize. There's been a bit of a problem with what I said. I said that Shanice was the first one to subscribe.
Yeah, that's right.
And Shanice only subscribed because I told her to subscribe. So it was a bit tainted, the subscription. It seemed like our first subscriber was actually Zachary.
Right.
Zachary, and the next one was Gail Harris.
Okay.
So we've had to sort of put our heads together, and Gavin's come up with a pretty good solution. So Gavin, what's your solution?
Yeah, so I mean, certainly Michael will be getting a prize, but instead of just picking a prize and doing all that sort of stuff, because it was a bit of a mess up, we're just going to all give you guys one of these, which is a subscription to QuickFlix. Well, for you, Michael, there's going to be a 2-month subscription. And for Gail and Zach, there'll be a month subscription. So what I need you guys to do is, there's my email address there. Flick me your emails and I'll send that code out to you. And you just go into the website, put it on there, and all the details.
What is QuickFlix?
QuickFlix is kind of like Netflix, right? You go on and you can stream movies, television programs, that kind of thing. Yeah. So you can do that for a month. So it's There's a lot of value in there. There's some pretty good movies on that site. I've had a good look around it. So yeah, it's pretty decent price first up there.
Excellent. Okay, so that's our first giveaway. Believe me, there'll be more because, as you know, he buys a lot of crap on TradeMe. Right, next.
All right. Oh, okay, here we go. So, our first question. Now, what we're going to do for crap I bought on TradeMe is we'll probably do like maybe a clip or a song or something. They got to guess what movie that comes from or TV program. Yeah. But for this one, because we show this, we play this bit of music at the start of our show. I want you to tell me what the movie, our theme music comes from, and who was the composer of that music. Okay.
Okay.
Now, no, actually, we won't give any.
No, I don't think we should. Yeah. Like true lovers of this show will know where they can find that answer.
Absolutely.
True lovers will know where they can find that answer. That's my clue. Yeah. Not really a clue, but it is a clue. All right.
So that's the first thing. Just put your answers in the comments section, and whoever gets it right, we'll draw a name out of the hat, and that will be a winner for the next one.
Right. Okay, so we will draw that next week, and we will draw it on the show.
Yep.
And we'll be able to announce that winner. We'll probably do the same thing where they need to name their prize again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So put your answer and your number, and all those correct answers will go into the draw. Yep.
Okay. Well, that is our show, but I did want to go through one more thing. I've been doing a lot of editing this week. Yeah.
Really?
I've been doing tons of editing, and we've actually caught up on all our pre-recorded shows. So this show that we'll be dropping, that you are obviously watching now, it is up to date. Mm-hmm. The information that you see on here is pretty much brand spanking new. But I have noticed that when I talk, I say and way too much. So as a special reward for our subscribers, I'm going to be doing a running total of $1 each time I say or in next week's video. And the prize will go to one lucky subscriber. So you watch next week's show, you'll see a running total on the screen of how many times I say and that total will be shown at the end.
Can I go into that?
Oh well, unfortunately we aren't eligible for that because I just might draw my own name because I'm not that rich, and I say and a heck of a lot. So next week for our lucky subscribers, they're going to win cold hard cash. That's right, Gavin. I'm willing to pay cold hard cash to get subscribers for the show.
Awesome. I won't be doing that because it sounds really expensive.
It could be expensive. I could be editing a lot of ahs and ums out, but I won't do that because I'm honest, not really. Okay. Look, the All Blacks are playing tomorrow as well. We crushed the Aussies over in Australia. The Aussies had nothing. And I'm thinking that the English win against the Aussies was, well, you know, the Aussie team is bloody terrible. So
I mean, I think they're going to do better, but it's still going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah, well, they're going to be playing in New Zealand. They're just lucky that they weren't playing at Eden Park. Yeah. I could see them putting 50 points on them.
They almost did. They should have probably.
Yeah, they obviously put on a few subs and lost a few people, but
well, they took their. When you're that far in front, you take your foot off the throttle. So.
Well, why not? And they rested a few people. But fantastic team. So go the All Blacks tomorrow or today because you'll be watching it Saturday. And we will see you next week.
Later.
Peace.
See you later.